Most people never think about losing a limb until it happens to them or someone they love. In the next few minutes, I want to give you an honest look at what that experience is really like: the physical, the shock, the emotional grief, the confusion, and eventually the path forward. I know this because I lived it. I lost my left leg below the knee, and before I figured out how to talk about it, I had to figure out how to live it. This series is everything I wish someone had told me, and everything I want you to understand, whether you're an amputee, a caregiver, or just someone who wants to show up better for the people in your life. This is part one of our series for Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Month. I'm your host, Zach, and I have 1.5 legs and a lot of options and generally too much time to think about shoe options. So let's do this. The first thing most people want to know is, what does losing a limb actually feel like? And the honest answer is, it depends on how it happened and what came after. People lose limbs for all different reasons, whether it be vascular disease, trauma, cancer, and some folks are born with limb differences and have never known anything different. Every path looks different, but there are some things most of us share, and one of them is something nobody tells you about: phantom limb pain. Your brain, sweet, delusional little organ that it is, absolutely refuses to accept what happened, so it keeps sending signals to the limb: itching, burning, cramping, the full package, to the limb that's not even there. It's medically fascinating. It's also personally the most annoying things that has ever happened to me. And I once sat in traffic for 3 hours. For me, it was my toes. I would wake up at 2 a.m. feeling like my toenails were being ripped off, reach down to stretch them, and just nothing. Every single time, what a gut wrench punch. You think I would learn, but I didn't learn. At that moment, every single time, it's one little gut punch. And the first few days after amputation, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it was pain. I was on lots of medications. I was confused, and I wish someone handed me a pamphlet like that was going to cover it. Nope. Okay, stay with me, because this is the part where the video, I could play some piano music and say something like, every scar tells a story. And I'm not going to do that to you. You deserve better than that. What actually helped me was someone being brutally, uncomfortably honest. So here we go. Losing a limb comes with grief, like real legitimate sit on the floor grief. Not the kind people bring casseroles for, and I can crush a casserole. I feel like that's a gap in the system. But it's grief for the version of yourself you assumed you'd always be. I grieve the way I was able to walk an entire day in a theme park, grieving kicking my shoes off at the door without a second thought, grieve not having to scope out new places for stairs, uneven ground, before I could just exist there. I grieved moving through the world without being a whole thing. Now it's a thing. I've made peace with it being a thing, but I'm allowed to have grieved it. And I need you to hear this, that grief is not weakness. Nearly 30% of amputees experience clinical depression, anxiety, PTSD, body image issues. And if that is you right now, you are not broken, you're not being dramatic, you're not handling it well. You're a person going through something that is really freaking hard. You deserve actual support from an actual human, not just a pamphlet. I cannot stress enough, burn that pamphlet. Metaphorically. Don't actually. There are probably other patients who need it. Getting support from a therapist, a peer mentor, a support group, literally one person who gets it. That is the actual healing. And we're going to talk exactly where to find that. Stick with me. So the number one question I get from people who've just found out about my leg is, so how do you do stuff? And I want to be clear, I love this question. Nobody ever knows how to finish that sentence. Do stuff. It's doing a lot of heavy lifting. The answer is you relearn. Some things take weeks, some take months, some things find a workaround that ends up being generally better. Adapt and thrive, baby. Okay, the eggs. First time making breakfast alone after amputation, I was standing at the stove, finding my balance, one-handed, on the counter like I'm on a boat in rough seas. I burnt them. I burnt them badly. The smoke alarm went off. I stood in my kitchen at 8 a.m. with useless pan of eggs, and I just lost it. Because 6 months of PT and pain, frustration, and I made eggs, the worst eggs of my life. Now the tech in this space is generally unhinged in the best way. My electric arms that read nerve signals, running blades, waterproof legs, smart knees, prosthetics designed specifically for swimming, climbing, cycling. There is a man who has a prosthetic arm that he controls with his mind. With his mind. We are living in a superhero movie and nobody is talking about it enough. But, and I say this as someone who has done the insurance phone calls, the cost. The cost conversion is real, and it is not funny. Prosthetic range from $5,000 to $100,000 or more. Coverage is inconsistent at best, infuriating at the worst. Most people are navigating daily life through adaptive strategies, creativity, and frankly, sheer stubbornness. Not because the tech doesn't exist, but because it's out of reach. And that's the problem worth being loud about. But that's a video for another day. Can I tell you the thing that actually changed for me? Not the prosthetic, not the physical therapy, though both of those matter. It was finding my people, because struggling alone and struggling with someone who gets it are two completely different experiences. I remember the first time I sat across from another amputee, this person was cracking jokes, actual jokes about their prosthetic, casually eating a sandwich, not performing okayness, but actually just being okay. And I'm sitting there like a golden retriever who just seen a magic trick. You can just do that? You can just be normal about it? You can make jokes? I didn't need a plan. I just needed someone who had been where I was. And he was over there eating a sandwich. That was everything. The Amputee Coalition has a peer visitor program. Actual trained volunteers who've been through it. And they've come and sit with you, not just fix anything, just to be there. Challenged Athletes Foundation is an incredible for adaptive sports. And honestly, this is the community we have. YouTube, right here in these comments. Comments count too. Quick word for the family members and caregivers in the chat and who are watching. Hi, you're doing great. The most important thing you can do is ask, don't assume, don't Google what can amputees do, and then announce your findings. Don't decide what they can't handle before they get a chance to try. Don't make the face, you know the face. Your person is still your person. A little crankier possibly, rightfully so, but it's still them. Ask, show up, don't make the face. That's honestly most of it. I want to be really careful here because this is where these videos usually go. Full stock photo of a sunset and you can feel it coming and you check out. I refuse to do that to you. We are in a no sunset stock photo zone. So here's the actual truth. Losing a limb is not the end of your story. It's a chapter, a hard, weird, occasionally absurd chapter. And yes, some of the absurd parts are kind of funny in retrospect, but it's not the whole book. There are still days I grieve. There are days my prosthetic is uncomfortable and I'm just in a bad mood about it. There are days I catch myself in a mirror, feel something complicated. And all that is real and it coexists with the rest of it. But there are also days, more and more of them, where I completely forget, where I am mid-laugh about something stupid or burning new batch of eggs. And I am just me. Not an inspirational amputee me, not navigating limb loss me, just me. Burnt eggs, living my life. Those days are worth all of it. There are millions of people navigating limb loss and limb difference right now. There are athletes, there are artists, there are parents, there are teachers, people who have learned to laugh at the stairs They are whole people, and there are stories deserve to be told without pity, without the inspiration bait, without the sunset stock photos. Just honestly, that is what we are doing here. If you made it this far, thank you, really. Whether this gave you a window into something you never thought about, or whether it gave you words for something you've been carrying, it's exactly why this exists. Drop a comment, tell me your story, tell me about someone you love. Tell me what you want covered in this series. Or honestly, just tell me how you make scrambled eggs, because mine are still work in progress. And I refuse to accept that as my legacy. But this community is built on real voices, and that includes yours. And if you are someone newly navigating limb loss, whether it be sitting in the hospital room or in a rehab chair or just on your couch trying to figure it out, what your life looks like, we see you. It is hard right now, generally actively hard. It will not always feel like this. You will find your footing, pun intended. I burnt my eggs and cried in my kitchen, and I am standing here making YouTube videos about it. You're going to be okay. Next week, Tina's going to talk about 10 things not to say to an amputee, so stay tuned, hit subscribe, tell a friend, and if someone in your life needs to see this, send it. That's how this reaches people who actually need it. Less Leg More Heart is a nonprofit dedicated to providing support, supplies, and services that improve the quality of life for amputees. We believe losing a limb doesn't mean living your life to the fullest. If you want to learn more, visit us at lesslegmoreheart.com. And if you feel led to donate and help keep changing lives, you can do that right there on their website too. We couldn't do this without you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. We'll see you in the next one.